crosswalk turned green. People move like waves. Everyone chasing somewhere. Everyone becoming a blur. And somehow, in the middle of the crowd, I noticed you standing beneath the street light, holding a red umbrella, looking up at the sky. Like you weren't in a hurry, like the city wasn't rushing around you. It's strange how a moment can feel important before it happens. Misconnection, a stranger in the rain. One look and suddenly the whole night changed. Misconnection, I never learned your name, but somehow you stayed in my mind long after you walked away. The light changed again, cars started moving, people disappeared back into the city. And for a second I thought about stopping, rolling down the window, saying anything, even hello would have been enough. But hesitation won, the moment passed and so did you. Funny how life works, 1 second too late, 1 second too careful, 1 second can change fate. I don't believe in movies or love at first sight, but something about you felt different that night. Maybe it was nothing, maybe I'm insane, but months later I still remember the rain. The city kept moving, but I stayed there mentally for a little while longer. Missed connection, a stranger beneath city lights, and maybe that's all you were. Or maybe you were something I never got the chance to find out. Still thinking about it. I don't remember much about the rest of that night. Just fragments, streetlights, rain puddles, taxi reflections, and that red umbrella somehow brighter than everything around it. Like the city had highlighted one person out of thousands. Some memories fade, this one refused to. Red umbrella, why do I remember you like a scene from a movie I never finished? Red umbrella, floating through the crowd, leaving questions everywhere you went. Yeah, I tried convincing myself it wasn't important, just another stranger, just another moment. But memories don't stay without a reason, and yours kept returning, yeah, at random times, during long drives and sleepless nights. Got a million faces passing every day, most disappear forever, moments after they fade. But every now and then one stays behind, like a bookmark inside your mind. No explanation, no logic involved, just a feeling that never dissolved. Maybe some people leave echoes instead of memories. Red umbrella, if you're somewhere tonight, I wonder if you remember me too. .27 AM, same intersection. I started taking the same route every Friday night, not intentionally. At least that's what I told myself. But somehow I always ended up there, watching the crosswalk, watching the crowd, watching for a red umbrella that never appeared. Hope can hide in the smallest routines. Crosswalk, where our stories almost met. Crosswalk, where I learned regret. Crosswalk, thousands of people passing through, yet somehow I was only looking for you. Weeks turn into months, the seasons change, different weather, different faces, different nights. But every time the signal turned green, part of me expected to see you again. Maybe that's crazy, maybe it's true. Maybe everybody waits for something they can't explain. Could be a person, could be a dream, could be a moment that changed everything. And every red light became a reminder of the stranger. I couldn't stop trying to find the city forgot, but I didn't. Crosswalk, maybe fate missed its chance, or maybe it's still deciding. $12:51 a.m. The signal changed. Yeah, I was halfway through the intersection when I saw someone standing on the opposite corner. Same height, same silhouette, same red umbrella. My heart reacted before my mind could. I pulled over immediately, stepped into the rain and started walking. For the first time, I wasn't gonna hesitate. Green light, everything set, go. Green light, don't let this moment disappear. The city finally gave me a chance to change the ending. The closer I got, the faster my heart moved. Months of wondering compressed into seconds. But when the stranger turned around, it wasn't you, just someone else living their own story. Guess that's the danger of holding on to ghosts. Every familiar shadow starts looking close. Every coincidence feels like a sign. Every wrong face feels like lost time. But somehow I wasn't disappointed, just reminded how much I cared. The rain kept falling, the city kept glowing. Green light, not every road leads somewhere, but at least I finally started moving. The city felt endless. Rain covered everything, turning lights into paintings. Neon reflections sliding across wet pavement. I drove without destination, letting the streets decide where the night would go. And somehow every road reminded me of that first encounter. Funny how memories can attach themselves to places. Downtown rain, falling on old thoughts again. Downtown rain, making strangers look familiar. Downtown rain, turning one brief moment into something larger than it probably was. Maybe I wasn't searching for a person anymore. Maybe I was chasing a feeling, a possibility, a version of life where I rolled down the window and said hello. Everybody got a story about almost met, almost stayed, almost close. The hardest part ain't losing someone real, is wondering forever what could have been. And every raindrop on the windshield tonight feels like another version of that night. The city looked beautiful and lonely at the same time. Downtown rain, downtown rain. If our paths cross again, I won't make the same mistake. I wasn't supposed to be here. GPS wanted me downtown. The GPS wanted me downtown, but something told me not tonight. So I turned left instead of right, following roads I never usually take. The city looked different past midnight, less crowded, more honest somehow, like it stopped pretending once everyone went home. Sometimes getting lost feels intentional. Wrong direction, but my heart keeps saying go. Wrong direction, yeah, somehow it feels like home. Wrong direction, maybe not every detour is a mistake. Maybe some roads are trying to tell us something. I passed old bookstores, closed coffee shops, apartment windows glowing against the dark sky. And every street felt connected to you somehow, even though I barely knew you at all. It's strange missing someone who was never really yours. A city this big should make forgetting easy. Millions of faces, millions of stories, but somehow one stranger still stands out. One moment still lingers now. Maybe it ain't about romance, maybe it's curiosity. Maybe it's wondering what would have happened differently if courage showed up a little sooner that night. The road curved ahead, and so did my thoughts. Wrong direction, maybe that's what life requires. One unexpected turn to find what you're looking for. Another Friday. The city felt alive. Music spilling from bars, taxi lights crossing intersections, friends laughing outside restaurants. Everyone seemed connected to someone except me, driving through it all like a spectator, watching somebody else's movie. And I saw it, a red umbrella. Friday night, the city stopped breathing. Friday night, my heart forgot the rhythm. Friday night, every possibility returned at once, and suddenly nothing else mattered. from a distance, not wanting to seem crazy, not wanting to scare away the answer I'd spend months chasing. The umbrella disappeared into a crowded street, and I lost sight again, just like before. Maybe fate likes playing games, maybe time is weird, maybe every answer comes wrapped inside of fear. 1 second you're close, 1 second it's gone, 1 second you're wondering how you held on this long. I kept searching through neon reflections, through strangers, through assumptions, trying to separate hope from imagination. The city swallowed the crowd, and the moment disappeared. Just another reason to keep looking. Rain again, rain again. The windshield became a mirror, blending city lights with old memories. Every reflection looked like another version of me, the one who stayed silent, the one who hesitated, the one still replaying that night. Maybe I wasn't searching for you, maybe I was searching for courage. Neon reflection showed me who I used to be. Neon reflection holding conversations silently. Every light reveals something new about the stranger and about me too. I parked beside the river, watching buildings shimmer across black water. The city looked beautiful from a distance, less complicated, less overwhelming, just lights and stories floating together. Funny thing about regret, it changes shape. Starts as a memory, then becomes a lesson, then becomes a reason to do things differently. Next time life gives you a chance, and maybe that's why I couldn't let this go. Because deep down I knew it wasn't about the umbrella, it was about who I became after. The rain slowed down, the city kept glowing. Neon reflection, was never only about finding you. $2:47 a.m. Same street. I almost laughed when I realized where I was. The same block, the same intersection, the same street light where everything started months ago. Without warning, without permission, the memory returned perfectly. Some places remember us, even when we leave. Same street, different version of me. Same street, but tonight I finally see. Same street, the city hasn't changed at all. I've been the one changing this whole time.
Standing there, I imagined every possibility, every version of that night where I said hello, where we talked, where we exchanged names, where things became
something, or maybe became nothing. At least I would've known.
The hardest questions and the answers you hear, it's the answers you never get. Beat this fear, what's steering? Everybody got a chapter that still feels unfinished,
a sentence with no period, a story still spinning. Maybe closure isn't finding the ending. Maybe closure is accepting the mystery. The signal changed again, just like before. Same street,
but I finally stopped chasing the past and started understanding it.
3:11 a.m. One message changed everything. A friend sent me a photo taken months ago at a downtown event. Crowded room, bright lights, hundreds of people, and there you were, standing in the background, holding that red umbrella, folded beside you, the same one. For the first time, I knew you were real. Not there, yet somehow everywhere. Not there, yet somehow still here. Not there, a stranger woven into memories without ever knowing it. Then I noticed something else, something small, something impossible to ignore. You weren't looking at the stage, you weren't looking at the crowd, you were looking directly toward the camera, toward me. My heart stopped for a second flat, trying to understand what I was looking at. Coincidence, maybe, probably true, but a part of me wondered, did you notice me too? Was I just another stranger in your passing view, or did our stories intersect more than I knew? Questions filled the silence as the city rolled by. Then I flipped the photo over and saw a handwritten note. Not there, but suddenly closer than ever, because for the first time the mystery left a clue, and the story wasn't over yet. 3:29 a.m. A handwritten note, 3 words. Coffee Friday night. I stared at the photo longer than I should have, reading the note again and again, trying to understand how something so small could suddenly make my heart race like this. The handwriting wasn't mine, the umbrella wasn't mine, the message wasn't mine, but somehow it felt like it was waiting for me. Maybe fate has terrible timing. Looking again at a story I thought was over, looking again at a memory getting closer, looking again like the city left a breadcrumb trail for someone willing to follow.
arrived eventually. The whole week moved slowly. Every red light lasted forever, every hour dragged. And when 9 o'clock came, I found myself standing outside a small cafe, watching strangers walk in and wondering if I was losing my mind. Could be coincidence, could be nothing at all. Could be me building castles from a moment too small. But after all this time I had to know. Some questions get louder the longer they go. So I stood there waiting, hard out of place, searching every reflection for a familiar face. Then the cafe door opened and everything stopped. Looking again, and suddenly there you were. Not a memory, not a dream, just real. The first conversation, you smiled first, like you already knew exactly why I was there. And somehow that made everything harder, because months of imagination collapsed into reality. And reality felt far more beautiful than anything I'd invented. Some moments arrive quietly and change everything. Maybe tomorrow we'll laugh about all this. Maybe tomorrow this becomes a story instead of a mystery. Maybe tomorrow the city feels smaller, because now I know your name. We talk for hours about simple things, favorite songs, bad coffee, places we travel, dreams we postpone. And somehow every conversation felt familiar, like we'd already met. Somewhere between coincidence and destiny. Yeah, no grand speeches, no movie scenes, just two people talking like normal human beings. Funny how reality rarely looks dramatic, but somehow feels deeper when it's automatic. And every minute passing made one thing clear: I wasn't chasing the fantasy, you were actually here. The cafe lights dimmed, neither of us noticed. Maybe tomorrow won't feel so far away now, because tonight finally happened. Before 12 a.m. Downtown lights. We walked through the city after the cafe closed. Streetlights reflecting across rain-soaked pavement. The same streets that once felt lonely now felt completely different, simply because you were there beside me. The city didn't change, I did. One more chance, that's all life really gives us. One more chance to say the words we were afraid of before. One more chance to stop letting fear decide the ending. I told you everything about the red umbrella, about the crosswalk, about the months spent searching. And instead of laughing, you smiled and admitted you remember me too. The car, the intersection, the rain that night. Guess some moments leave marks on both sides. Guess some stories don't completely die. Maybe we both wonder, maybe we both cared. Maybe we both carried a memory somewhere. Funny how time and words, funny how life bends. Sometimes a misconnection finds its way back again. The rain finally stopped for the first time all night. One more chance. One more chance. Oh, one more chance. And neither of us wasted it. Drive home. The city glows softly outside the windshield. You sat beside me. This time not as a mystery, not as a possibility, not as a memory, but as a person. Somehow that felt even better. Reality won over imagination. If we meet again, I won't hesitate. If we meet again, I won't let fear speak first. If we meet again, I'll remember this feeling and trust it. Yeah, yeah. We talked about chances, the ones we take, the ones we miss, the ones that somehow circle back around months later, when we're finally ready to receive them. Yeah, maybe timing isn't about luck. Yeah, maybe timing is about growth. Yeah, yeah. Had to become this version to appreciate this night. Had to take the long road to finally get it right. Every wrong turn, every lonely drive, every question kept the story alive. And maybe that's why nothing happened before, because both of us needed a little more time. Skyline faded behind us, morning approached. If we meet again, I'll still choose this road every single time. To drive home. "5:03 a.m. Funny name now. For months I called you a misconnection, a stranger I couldn't forget, a story without an ending, a question without an answer. But sitting here now, watching the city wake up, I realize maybe I got the title wrong. Maybe nothing was missed after all. Misconnection, that's what I thought you were. Misconnection, but fate had other plans. Misconnection, turns out some stories just take longer to begin. The sun started rising, painting gold across the skyline. The same city that once felt endless now felt familiar. Not because every question had been answered, but because I stopped needing to know everything. Life ain't always quick, life ain't always clear. Sometimes the right people arrive after a year. Sometimes the ending looks like the start. Sometimes the longest journey is opening your heart. And every lonely drive, every sleepless night, every road I follow led me right here. The city wakes slowly, the story settles gently. Misconnection, not a regret, this time I go.